Welcome to the Litany of Catholic Martyrs for September 16th. In a secular world filled with those, actually for September 17th, In a secular world filled with those who would turn their backs on the one sent by the Creator, we take time today to honor those men, women, and children who joyfully offered themselves as a living sacrifice for Holy Mother Church. As we go about our daily chores, let us bring to mind those martyred men, women, and children with the words of Father John Hardon. Never in the history of the papacy has any bishop of Rome written at greater length about martyrdom than Pope St. John Paul II. His encyclical, The Gospel of Life, devotes 1,000 or more words to the call to martyrdom in our age. He reminds us that the revelation from the Old Testament to the New, and from the time of Christ to the present day, is the history of martyrdom as a witness to the truth. He names Susanna, who refused to consent to lechery and was ready to die to preserve her chastity. He spoke of John the Baptist, who was beheaded by King Herod because he condemned the adulterous marriage of the king. But he especially identifies Jesus Christ as the King of martyrs, who died on the cross as a witness to the truth, which he was sent to proclaim to the world. So, the history of courageous practice and profession of the truth has gone on for 20 centuries of Christianity. We commonly speak of the first 300 years of the Christian era as the age of martyrs. Certainly tens of thousands of believing Christians laid down their lives rather than compromise their Christian faith and morality to the pagan culture in which they lived. Every single pope up to the 4th century died a martyr's death. So far from crushing Christianity or destroying the church founded by Christ, martyrdom actually contributed to the growth of a Christian civilization. The phrase sanguis martyrum est semen Christianorum, the blood of martyrs is the seed of Christians, was not some pious aphorism. It was a literal fact of history. The more blood was shed by Christians in dying for their faith, the more Christianity expanded throughout what had been a pagan world. So in union with that, we offer this list today, and we praise these men, women, and children as great martyrs who gave everything they had for the church that they loved. Please pray for all those who had loved ones who were martyred on Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka. The commemoration of the impression of the sacred wounds which St. Francis, founder of the Order of Minorites, received through a wonderful favor of God in his hand, feet, and side on Mount Alvernia in Tuscany. At Rome, on the road to Tivoli, the birthday of St. Justin, priest and martyr, who distinguished himself by a glorious confession of the faith during the persecution of Valerian and Gallienus. He buried the bodies of the blessed Pontiff Sixtus of Lawrence, Hippolytus, and many other saints, and finally consummated his martyrdom under Claudius. Also at Rome, the holy martyrs Narcissus and Crescencio, at Phrygia, St. Ariadna, martyr under the Emperor Adrian. In England, the holy martyrs Socrates and Stephen. At Nevers, the holy martyrs Valerian, Macrinus, and Gordian. At Autun, under the Emperor Antoninus and the Governor Valerian, Saint Flocellus, a boy, who after many sufferings was torn to pieces by wild beasts, thus won the crown of martyrs. At Liege, Blessed Lambert, Bishop of Maastricht, having through zeal for religion rebuked the royal family, he was unreservedly put to death by the guilty, and thus entered the court of the heavenly kingdom to enjoy it forever. At Saragossa in Spain, St. Peter of Arbus, first inquisitor of the faith in the kingdom of Aragon, who received the palm of martyrdom by being barbarously massacred by apostate Jews for defending courageously the Catholic faith, According to the duties of his office, he was canonized by Pope Pius IX in 1867. On the same day, Saint Agathoclea, and sometimes you put the accent in the wrong place, Agathoclea, servant of an infidel woman, who was for a long time subjected by her blows and other afflictions, that she might deny Christ. She was finally presented to the judge and cruelly lacerated as she persisted in confessing the faith. They cut off her tongue and threw her into the flames. At Cordoba, St. Columba, Virgin and Martyr. At Milan, the departure from this world of St. Satyrus, Confessor, whose distinguished merits are mentioned by his brother, St. Ambrose. At Rome, in the persecution of Diocletian, St. Theodora, a matron who carefully ministered to the martyrs. And finally, at Bingen, in the Diocese of Mayence, St. Hildegard, Virgin. These are the men and women and children, many of them today, who offered their lives as a pure sacrifice, as a blood sacrifice, as a red martyr, in order to perpetuate the Catholic faith. Please remember them today when you come across a situation, if you do today, to defend the faith and to act accordingly. God bless each and every one of you. Have a good